Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Penny Rambles, where I just, do talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about and do it any way I want to. This is less of a Slop 2 series, even though it's kind of it's Slop 2, but just I'm not really, given the fact that my Wi-Fi's been out for a while and I really don't have anything else to be making with my content right now, this is kind of what I gotta do. I have done this sort of thing before, but this was before I got my hands on my PNG model. So, yeah, that's basically what the future content's gonna be. If you're wondering where I was for a while, I was a little preoccupied. And hell, today has not exactly been a great day for me, even though it's like 3 in the morning right now as I'm recording this. My toilet's been clogged. I'm dealing with a pest infestation. I'm broke as hell right now. I had a scare about my microphone being broken. So yeah, that wasn't exactly a great experience all around, but I'm going to see what I can do about getting a plunger tomorrow to fix the toilet. See what I could do about, getting getting some pesticides as well. So yeah, my life hasn't exactly been going great as of late. Also, my Wi-Fi was out for the longest time. I think I mentioned that already, but yeah, my mother wasn't exactly honoring our agreement. We kind of have an arrangement. I help her out with tech stuff for her job, and she helps me out by paying my bills for my Wi-Fi and whatnot. She wasn't holding up her end of the bargain, and the Wi-Fi was cut out. And instead, what we had to do was sign up with Verizon. And as you know, Verizon doesn't have a fiber optic plan. So is what I've had to do is use extremely shitty internet to do stuff on the internet and all that. And yet, not exactly the best idea for streaming. So that's going to be coming into a temporary pause. And I'm going to bring this series back as a means of holding people over. So something I want to talk about recently is okay, this is a little bit more of a obscure news, but as you may or may not know, Need for Speed Rivals, has announced that the servers for the game will shut down sometime in October of this year. Now, I personally didn't feel Rivals was the best Need for Speed game in the franchise. Oh, that guy died. I personally didn't feel that Rivals was the best Need for Speed game in the franchise. It had stiff competition even back when it came out. I think it was like, Forza Horizon 2 came out at the same time. And, excuse me, sorry, sneezes. Forza Horizon 2 came out around the same time, and it was kind of an uphill battle from there. I didn't really like the game as much as I probably should have, but the fact that the game's servers are shutting down kind of leads me into a really weird situation to discuss, because a lot of you have probably heard about Stop Killing Games by now. It's been all over your news feeds. Every slop tuber from Charlie to fucking Nuxtaku's been talking about it. And it's basically been a hate on pirate software sort of thing, which, to be fair, I do think he kind of deserves a bit of the hate, but this is not about him. This is not about him. It goes into back to racing games, because racing game preservation has been a bit of a stickler as of late, because racing games have been known for their licensed soundtracks, for their licensed cars, their licensed brand manufacturers, licensed part manufacturers, licensed pretty much everything. And because of that, racing games have basically been doomed to be all but, well, gone whenever their things end up going off. And that's a shame, really, because a lot of these racing games are absolutely amazing. And the only way you can really play a racing game now that's like post like 10 years ago is to hope to God you get lucky and find it on a used shop, or pirate it. And that's not even getting into, like, some of the old console exclusive stuff, where it was like, oh, you have to have the console, the hardware, and you have to have a copy of the game. Otherwise, you're a shit out of luck, and you can't play the game anymore. Like, games like Midnight Club LA, and, what other game was there? Midnight Club 3 as well. Project Gotham Racing was another one. You couldn't play those games anymore. Even if you wanted to, unless if you have the proper hardware, the proper hardware, the proper funds, and the proper dedication necessary to need to set up stuff. And considering that a lot of modern TVs don't even support composite video out, that also doesn't help matters as well. So, Stop Killing Games for me is basically something that I really want to see get through, especially because another topic of discussion is that due to the fact that these games are essentially just time gated at this point, there's like a limited. They basically are born with an expiration date. The moment those like 10 years have passed and the licensing agreements die, there's literally no way of playing them anymore. There's literally no way. So, what? And so that because of that, we've seen a lot of racing game developers do things like live service models for their games. So, like, pretty much every single major racing game out there, Forza Horizon 5, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, Gran Turismo 7, Forza Motorsport 8, otherwise known as FM20, the newest Forza Motorsport game, Need for Speed Unbound. All of them have been a live service model. They launch unfinished, and they just add content as they go along. And there's really no reason for them to just support the game after it's done, because, like, well, the licenses are about to die off anyway. So what benefit do they have to keep the game alive? What benefit do they have to say, we want to keep this game going for as long as we can? Now, that's not to say all racing games from this era are like this. Ironically, the game that I'm currently playing right now, Flat Out, if you wanted to right now, you can buy this game on Steam. I think it's like $7.49 right now on Steam as of me recording this. And I would recommend you get your hands on this game. This game's awesome. But even then, it's like a case of, why should we try to put effort into a game that we don't... Oh. Why should we try, put effort into a game that no one is either going to care about in, like, 6 years when the new one comes out, or nobody is going to support past that agreement? So, because, like, the licensing agreements. And, I'm for the record, I am doing this off unscripted, so apologies for the lack of cohesion when it comes to my rambling. So... games like Stop Killing Games, movements like Stop Killing Games are kind of necessary for that. God damn it. I cannot drive to save my life. But, like, movements like Stop Killing Games are all but necessary to keep games like, say, Need for Speed Unbound and, what else? Gran Turismo 7 from ending up in an unplayable state. And Need for Speed Rivals as well. And especially with Need for Speed Rivals, because that game was always online. So if that game were to go offline right now, I don't know how they would handle it. There was an option for you to play single player, but you still needed an internet connection to get on to the servers. So I doubt they're going to pull a crew again. I mean, this is EA we're talking about. I know Ubisoft isn't exactly the world's most beloved game developer right now, but if there's one studio I think people will hate more than Ubisoft, it's EA. And to be fair, EA's kind of been pretty laissez-faire when it comes to their old games. Like, there's a huge modding scene for their old games, with, like, older shit. If there was someone like Nintendo, that shit wouldn't fly at all. And I know a lot of people have also been ragged. I want to, actually, screw it. Screw this topic. I want to go on about Ubisoft, because, to be honest, I kind of feel Ubisoft's been getting a brunt of the hate. And I'm not saying it's not deserved, don't get me wrong. Like, for fuck's sake, what happened with the crew was enough for people to get mad, is enough for me to get mad at them. But Jesus Christ, the amount of picking that you see people do on games like Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, for literally no other reason than it's because it's Ubisoft. It's like, look, I get it, okay? You need the grift, alright? There needs to be, like, some way of getting some cash flow in. But, like, come on, just at least be original with your grift. Like, why? Like, what do you have to gain for just, like, ragging on Ubisoft all this time? Like, I think there was, like, this one person, like, Nix Tech, who does, like, mostly just shit ragging on Nvidia, or Maxhar, or whatever the fuck, the one with the stupid-ass Patrick profile picture. It's like, these games are, like, 7 months apart, or, like, years apart, and they always bring up the same example of Batman Arkham Knight. And it's like, Arkham Knight, it's a good enough game, but, like, they're, like, literally bringing it back down to the graphics debate. I thought we moved past this, like, past, like, the 7th generation of gaming, where pretty much every single console looked pretty much the same, and it wasn't really about how graphics looked, it was more about resolutions, but no, we're still ragging on graphics. Now, I'm not exactly saying that Star Wars Outlaws is a great game, mind you. I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't exactly tell. But Jesus Christ, the way that you hear these people talk about it, you would think it's a step back in gaming evolution. Like, you would think it's like, like EA came back from the dead and just... Wait, that launched me? No one's heard of seatbelts in this universe? Oh, son of a... But, like, the way that people would think about it, it's like... Did they really come back from the dead? I thought that was a shortcut. Stupid me. Now, I'm not saying that they are... Like I said, I'm not saying they're 100% free from blame. The crew situation alone was enough for that. But also, another situation that I really do want to... I really kind of want to defend Ubisoft on. Not really defend, but more like, play devil's advocate here. Was, I remember, like, fucking Asmongold, the unwashed streamer himself, was making fun of how Ubisoft was locking missions, DLC missions behind paywalls. You wanna know what other game did that? A game that he himself defended? Hogwarts Legacy! That game locked an entire mission, 2 missions, behind 1 console exclusivity, and 2 a season pass, the deluxe edition. And nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck, but the moment Ubisoft did it, then it's a problem for some reason, because, you know, they have a reason to hate on it. And it goes into this topic about, like, culture war grifting, and, that's not my forte. I'm gonna let the Birdman take that one, which, by the way, shout out to the Birdman. If you have the Birdman 15, shout outs to him. He's genuinely awesome. I love his content. But, like I said, it's just like, these people are just looking for things to be mad at. Like, I remember seeing, like, Spartans, that Wild Spartans, on his fucking, Slop channel, go on about how Ubisoft says they want you to destroy their games and their terms of service. I actually read through that terms of service. And yes, it does say that. But you wanna know whose terms of service I also read? Larian Studios' terms of service. And, do you see anyone getting mad about that? No? I swear to God, it's like these people are just looking for things to get mad at. I mean, welcome to the internet, I know, but, like, come on, just, if we're going to get mad at something, get mad at actual things you can get mad at Ubisoft for, like, you know, their handling of the Crew 2, or how their microtransactions are outright predatory, instead of, like, you know, getting on about shit like, I don't know, season pass bullshit, or DEI hires, or shit that pretty much everyone in the industry's been doing. And it's like, come on, the fucking least I can ask you for. But, like, yeah, I think I might actually end it here after this race is done, because, I have not been having a good day lately, and I am just so tired. But honestly, I do want to hear your guys' opinion on this because I honestly feel like Ubisoft's been getting a bit of a pointlessly bad rep. And I want to hear what you think about it. Do you think Ubisoft has been getting bad rep? What do you think about Stop Killing Games movement? Have you played Need for Speed Rivals? And if so, do you think it's a good game? Yes, things like that. I'm sorry for like the whole just ham-fisted nature of the Rambles. Ham-fisted nature of Rambles and all that. I'm just, a little tired. Like I said, recording at 3 a.m. right now. I'm also really, really, really fucking sad right now. Dealing with a bunch of anxiety as well. Oh god. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all know what to do if you enjoy the content. I'm not gonna like be one of those YouTubers who goes on about that shit. If you enjoy this content, you know what you want to do. You know what you gotta do, and I'm not gonna like say it. So yeah, do what you want to do. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye bye.